Okay, so yeah, just go ahead and your name. And
Okay. My name is Strick, and I'm from here in San Francisco, but I've done some work at a deployment in Kenya. We brought just 10 XOs over there and set up a sort of a computer lab and a library in a primary school. And yeah.
And how did you first get involved with the XO project?
Actually, I first got involved when a professor forwarded me an email from a guy in the area who was looking for students who sort of know about computers to go along with him to help with the computer lab. And I was interested. I found out more about it. And I ended up sharing a lot of interest with the guy, and he brought me along with him, and I helped set up the lab.
And what were some of the toughest challenges?
I'd say some of the toughest challenges were one of the obvious things is we take so much for granted on computers that we think that everybody should know how to do. Just the idea of moving a mouse around a screen is something we're so familiar with now, and it's easy to forget how foreign it can be for people. So just getting people to get past that first sort of mental gap into the world of computers, or the mental leap into the world of computers, that was a big challenge. And then I would say the other big challenge is fitting them into the curriculum. I mean, these computers, sort of the philosophy behind them is a learn by doing, learn by exploring sort of philosophy, which isn't necessarily in line with the Kenyan curriculum and the Kenyan educational philosophy. So getting the teachers to sort of see the value of the computers and to start creating their own curriculum that could fit in with the Kenyan curriculum.
And then what technique or way did you use to convince the teachers to do that?
Well, we focused on really practical like activities. For example, one of the things that we did to teach the teachers was we had them go around taking pictures of parts of the school and making like rules. So for example, actually one of the schools on the school there's a big sign that says like say no to drugs, and so we had the teacher take a picture of that sign, take the photo, put it into the right activity, and then type a paragraph sort of further explaining that and saying more about why drugs are bad. And so doing things like that the teachers could see sort of how creative they could be with the computers and how they can be applied to the things that they already want to teach.
And what changes did you notice in the kids and the teachers before the computers and then after the computers?
Let's see. Well, we were only there for, I haven't been back since we initially started the deployment. But I mean, over the course of the 2 weeks, it went from sort of this or at least in the adults, there was sort of this hesitation when approaching the computers. It was so foreign and new. And then at least with some of the teachers, by the end of the time with them there, they would, immediately dive in. They were super excited about the computers and would want to learn. And we're taking them home and exploring on their own time. And then the kids were just super into it always, and just watching them get better and more comfortable. I would say comfort is the biggest change.
And then what did you find unexpected, like in terms of your preconceptions before going there, and then once you went there, what sort of surprised you?
Again, I was so surprised sort of by how much I thought that computers were like basic. I mean, let me rephrase that. I was really surprised by the fact that a lot of the concepts that I just think are so basic about computers are actually really foreign, and it caused me to sort of re-examine how computers are. And then the other thing that surprised me the most was just sort of, that was my biggest surprise, I guess.
And then what kind of difference do you think or hope that these laptops will make in Kenya?
Well, my background is in linguistics, and one of the things that I did while I was there was I recorded and transcribed stories in the native language, and all education is done in English. And so already I've put like PDFs of the stories I elicited on the computers, and just for the kids to have access to like stories in their own native language, I think makes a huge difference. And you could immediately see that the kids had sort of had this new, like more respect for their language and sort of an excitement about their own language, which is really important to me. Yeah.
Cool. And then, if you could answer, any comments or questions that I haven't asked or something you want to add.
Well, I'm really excited about this convention because one of the biggest problems we saw in this sort of global OLPC effort is a gap between the people who are actually doing the educating and the teachers and the deployers, and then sort of the developers who are maybe doing a lot of incredible work on the development side but don't have as clear of an idea of what the needs are. So sort of bridging that gap is an amazing thing about this convention for this summit.
Cool. Excellent. Thanks.